Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Q&A Thursdays with myself, Orla and Jacob. So this week, the government have announced that the UK has been pushed into the biggest recession since 2009, and this comes just after the UK saw a record-breaking slump with the economy shrinking by 20.4% between April and June. So the government have now stated that this is obviously a very difficult time, and it's also uncertain for the UK, as this is the first time the UK have been in a recession since 2009. You've probably seen some of that in the news. So many fear that a recession will trigger mass unemployment despite the government's plans to create jobs in new areas. But before we start, comment in the comment box, ask us questions, give us your feedback, tell us your thoughts and opinions on this topic, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you've got. And as well, like usual, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is called Mustang Marketing, so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. So, Jacob, would you like to talk a bit about what a recession actually is?
Yeah, so many people don't really understand what a recession is or how it may affect them. Recessions they're quite natural in the business cycle. Countries regularly go into recession. There are periodic of economic decline, and that means like spending and trading is low. It usually comes after GDP falls after two successive quarters. And as I say, countries usually go through them. And when they're not in a recession, people's income goes up, businesses become more profitable, the government gains more tax, stuff like that. But when a country does go into recession, all of that's reversed. So governments, they lose a lot of money, there's a lot of debt, and there's not much spending. There's quite a lot of unemployment, stuff like that. And as I say, these recessions can occur for many different reasons. The 2009 one, that occurred because of massive amount of debt. But shock, natural shock, stuff like that can also cause a recession, just like the one we're experiencing right now. The coronavirus pandemic has actually triggered this recession. Orla, do you want to talk a little bit more about why we're in this recession?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the UK has gone into a worse recession than some other countries, obviously, like you said, due to the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah. And the UK, we rely on consumer services and face-to-face contact. However, there's also been declines in other services, including construction and manufacturing, and all of this together has caused economic struggles for everyone, but as a country, like in a whole. So some do say that due to the UK going into lockdown too late, this has caused an increase in coronavirus cases, which then required a longer lockdown. So therefore, this had a huge effect on our economy because we've been in a longer lockdown than other countries. Compared to like other countries, they acted quicker, so their restrictions were eased sooner than ours. And the UK has had one of the highest death rates and worst economic impacts. And the government has received a lot of criticism with the delay in action. But how long do you think the recession will last for?
Well, the 2008 recession was caused by the global financial crisis. And that saw the GDP falling by at least 7.2% over 5 quarters. So the last recession saw quite a lot of unemployment, and the national debt in the UK actually almost doubled. This obviously caused like major cuts and everything, and the government really struggled. But this recession's it's a little bit different. Obviously, the one that occurred 11 years ago, that was because of debt in the world. This one is caused by the pandemic, and officials have actually predicted that spending will increase, you know, in the third quarter. So this will be later in the year. You know, more places will be open, more people are spending, stuff like that. So by definition, the recession may already be over. However, despite the increase in spending, we are seeing a rise in unemployment. I think 2.7 million people were unemployed from April to July, which is obviously a massive number. And this is only the start. So anyone watching, comment, do you think we'll recover from this quicker than we did the 2009 recession? So the recession, it can obviously impact many businesses in a different way. It doesn't matter if you're big or small. Recessions bring a lack of spending, and obviously a lack of spending, that's a lack of demand, you know, for a business's product or service. This can create quite a lot of fear and uncertainty for any business, really. But for small businesses, it's quite dangerous. If they don't have a lot of capital that they can, you know, keep the business running with, they can suffer. And as I say, there's a lot of uncertainty about, you know, if they'll be able to survive, stuff like that. But being in a recession, there are some benefits, depending on how severe this recession is. You know, businesses may see their competitors struggling a lot more. Even, you know, they might lose some competition, you know, if they go out of business, something like that. And also borrowing rates from the government are also going to be really low. Although, you know, approval for loans might be quite high, it'd be quite difficult to get approvals, the interest rates will be very low. So Orla, do you want to tell everyone a little bit about what businesses can do?
Yeah, well, there's different things that your business can do to reduce, you know, the harshness of the economic decline. So, for example, you can reduce and slow down cash outflows such as expenses, because that would help. Then you could also reduce wasteful and unnecessary spending. You could collect money off customers sooner, you know, as hopefully they'll be willing to pay sooner too. You could also try to maintain current customers, and you could pay payables later and try to work out a deal with your suppliers. So the severity of recessions are hard to predict, which means having a plan is always really beneficial, as I'm sure most of you know. And a recession is usually followed by a period of economic recovery and growth, which, you know, that's a good thing because we want it to get better. We want to get out of the recession as quick as possible. So if anyone else wants to leave any comments, or if you've got anything to say, we can reply in the comments later to any of your questions or your thoughts and opinions on this whole topic. But except from that, thank you so much for listening to another Q&A Thursdays. And like always, don't forget to follow all of our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel to rewatch this Q&A later today, as well as all of our other content, because we post every Tuesday and every Thursday. And if you have any more comments, leave them in the comment box or contact us via email or telephone. All our details will be on our socials and our website. And we hope to see you again next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching.